Hi friends, this is Haider from Bitvaro Digital Marketing Company, and you can see the new T-shirt. That's it on a side note. And today our topic is one of the most underrated one, which is Google penalty. Yes, and not sure if any of the business is suffering from Google penalty. However, I wish that your business should not ever suffer from Google penalty, but we all does unethical SEO practices, and Google is also strengthening the core search functionality time to time, new updates, new functionality, especially the AI AI developments and AI enhancements leads to a stronger search. But that's on a separate note, always better for you as the surfer, or you as the one who is actually surfing the internet. So if Google is doing that, trust me, it is always for your own good. And uh, and uh, and it is important for you as well, so that you guys can align your websites too, because finally your website is for your audience only, who is actually looking. Website is less for the search bot and more for your audience. So you can imagine, if your website may not be liked by the audience, then who will be going to like it? So that is the reason these penalties time to time Google impose on those websites which are not adhering to the Google norms. And those norms might starts from content to the links to the security to the SSL or whatever. So at the end of the day, this is for your own good. So trust me, if Google has inflicted a penalty on your website, means it is something good. Google is trying to say you that please, 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 just do improvisions in your website, just improve your website, make it good for the one who is actually looking it. So it is always good for you and us to time have a look on what our websites are showing. Consider your website, consider yourself as an audience for your website, and see what actually they are. So friends, Google penalty, take Google penalty as serious and take Google penalty as positive. Then only you will be able to understand and be able to fix the issues in your website. So if your business is seriously suffering Google penalty, what should we do, and how to overcome with that, how much time it will take, how your business will recover? These are all the things we'll be going to discuss today. So let's start. So friends, Google penalty refers to when your website has gone out of search. That is Google penalty. And this happens sometimes when you are using, or knowingly or unknowingly, unethical practices. Yes, that's correct, unethical practices, that's what they are. You may or may not know about these practices, but once Google will penalize your website, what will happen is Google will completely ban you from the search rankings. Yes. So friends, what it takes, what exactly happens when your business inflicts, when Google inflicts a penalty on your business, and why? Look look, it's not that difficult to understand. If your website is doing any unethical thing, Google will penalize. And what are those unethical things? They are very simple. They are not that something which you cannot understand. If you are playing up with the content, means if you are copying content from some other websites and pasting that content on your own website, that is something unethical. Do not do that. If your website is have got a poor link profile, unnatural link profile, that doesn't make any sense, spammy link profile, Link, when I say link, backlinks, those are coming to your website and those who are going out from your website, that is a link profile of your website. And if that link profile is not good, is not healthy, if it is unnatural, Google may going to penalize it, and for sure. Third thing is, if you are doing anything on your website which is unlawful according to Google, yes, if you are practicing anything in your website which is not as per the laws, adherence as per the laws of your country, means something unlawful, like arms trading, it's not allowed, like drugs trading, it's not allowed, any illicit activity not allowed. So that's something which Google also didn't like it, apart from whatever the government agencies as well. If you are providing misleading information to the visitors on your website, for example, your website is dedicated to selling laptops and you are selling mobiles, your website is dedicated to selling apples, you are selling vegetables, so this is a misleading information which Google may not like it and may penalize you from the search at all. Fourth thing is, if your website is infected with viruses, yes, you heard it right. So make sure your web pages and the overall website should not be infected with viruses, trojans, and hacks. That is quite, Google takes this quite seriously and may ban you completely from the search results. Unethical SEO practices is something Google never allows, neither in past, not now, nor will any time in future too. For example, thin content, for example, doorway pages, for example, keyword stuffing, for example, using unethical links, for example, using the hidden text in your website. These are all the unethical practices. They are outdated, they are dated. Please do not use these to trick Google. Google may not allow that. If your website is not mobile friendly and your website is having a different mobile version, Google may not allow that. That is very simple. You must have to have single version of your website which is must be compatible with the mobile, and Google will only allow that. If your website has been hacked, again I'm stressing that please make your website secure. If it's been hacked by Google, hacked by anyone, Google may not allow that particular website in the search results, and that's quite obvious. If your website is lacking SSL, secure socket layer, which is a must for and under the norms of Google, that if you are running a business website or a personal website which is absorbing information, which is taking information from the user over the internet, you must have to have an SSL, secure socket layer. If you want to know what is SSL, see this video in which I have completely explained the types of SSL and how you can purchase SSL and the type of SSL suitable for your business. And lastly, if you are doing a misuse of structured data, that is completely not allowed. Structured data of your website and the web page tells Google about the overall details of your page, and if you are stuffing that structured data of your website and misusing it, Google will catch it and penalize it. Now, we all know that business owners are not developing their websites. It's only the website developers, whether you have outsourced your project or whether you have developed the project in-house. They are the website developers, and most of them doesn't keeps the check team. Although ethical web developers keeps a good check team as well, but anyhow, you came to know if your site has been penalized by Google at this moment, what actually next? So there are two types of penalty. First is a manual penalty, which Google inflicts upon a business owner or a personal website or any type of website, and that is done by manually by a rater. Google Google has placed numerous raters worldwide, and those raters have typically the job to check any website, and manually they go through the websites manually based on EAT, authority and identity as well, and then submit the results to Google. And on the basis of that, they normally judge any website and take a decision whether to penalize this website or not to penalize, or this. And if finally Google is taking a manual action on your website, then you will find this manual action in Google Search Console. There is an option of manual actions. There is a tab you will find in Google Search Console. Type in Google Search Console. If you do not have that for your website, I would strictly recommend that please create one for your website, or ask your web developer or search engine optimization team. They'll be going to do it for you, and check the manual actions. Either you can check at your end, or your web team or your SEO team can check it. If at all you will find a manual action over there, means Google has inflicted a manual action on your website, and which is quite clear that this is not an algorithmic penalty. Now the second one is, if you can see the website, there is no manual action and still your website is affected. How come you'll be going to know that your website is affected? The simple method is that, well, that's above method is simple, and in this method you actually need to check the rankings of your website, the traffic spikes on your website. If the traffic is suddenly going down from a certain date, and the line is going flat, then means your website has been hit, and you have to really check this manually on your own, or your web development agency or your SEO agency will check it, whether Google has inflicted a algorithmic penalty on your website. Fine. So now what next? What exactly you will do in this situation if your website is facing algorithmic penalty or manual action? This is something important. You only have two choices here. Now listen carefully. First choice is DIY, do it yourself. Yes, you can do it yourself only if you know how to do it. Otherwise, trust me, typically the time you will learn things, your business will suffer by that time. So handle the situation DIY, I suggest, strictly and only if you know how to do things, how to sort things, or if you know what exactly is the problem. If only you know what to do, to take what it takes to fix that problem in that particular time. Otherwise the business will definitely be going to suffer till it is out of ranking in the Google search. Second important thing is, you can outsource the whole process to any ethical web development company or a SEO consultant, and you can discuss with them. They will provide you three important things. The first one is where you are standing by doing the manual audit. The second one is what it takes to recover and how long it takes to recover. The third one is what will be the cost they will be going to charge. So friends, these are the important things you must know. And let me tell you, as far as the conclusion is concerned, that manual penalty only happens if your website is doing unethical SEO practices, either knowingly or unknowingly, by your web department or web development agency or digital marketing agency. So you really need to check what is going on. But at the end of the day, what Google says is that SEO is something important for your website, and they can make or break your business. So choose SEO carefully. That is something what Google is saying. And trust me, the next important thing is that if at all you have decided to outsource your penalty to an ethical SEO agency like Bitfaro, obviously I will say that, then you need to keep patience, because this is a manual process where we need to fix the problem. The agency will fix the problem first and then manually request Google for review, and then Google certainly will be going to take more time to check first of all the information has been submitted, then to refer to the information, then to authenticate that information, and then we'll be going to pull back results for you. So that's a long process. You need to be more patient while all this process, because your digital ethical digital marketing agency is your last hope in recovering your website from a Google inflicted penalty. So I hope you liked this video. If you find the information good and relevant, please share it with your family, friends, colleagues. I'll see you in the video next time. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you.